Have you ever been in a totally dark room? You flip a switch and bam, the whole place just lights up. It kind of feels like magic, right? But where does all that light actually come from? Well, that is the big question we're going to dive into right now.
I mean, just look at this incredible fireworks display. You see these brilliant flashes of color just painting the night sky. They are unbelievably bright. But where is that light coming from? It's not just showing up out of thin air, it's being actively made. And that, right there, is the big clue for our journey today.
So, to really get a handle on where light comes from, we need to start with one single core idea. Let's just get right to it and ask, what exactly is a light source?
And here you have it. It's a beautifully simple definition. A light source is any object that makes its own light. Now, the most important word there is makes. We're not talking about something that's just shiny or bright. We're talking about the object being the actual creator of the light. This could be something natural, like the sun or a bolt of lightning, or something artificial, like the lamp sitting on your desk.
All right, now that we've got our definition, let's have a little fun and put it to the test. We're going on a light source hunt. I'm going to show you a few things and you decide. Is it a light source or not? You ready?
Okay, first up on our hunt, a simple candle. What do you think? Does it fit our definition? Is it making its own light? Go ahead, take a second, and lock in your answer.
If you said yes, you are absolutely right. And the key is that little flame. That flickering flame is actually a chemical reaction that is actively producing and sending out light. So yeah, a candle is a perfect example of a light source.
Okay, let's try a trickier one. How about a piece of aluminum foil? You know it's super shiny, and it can definitely catch your eye with a bright glare. But does that mean it's a light source?
And the answer is nope. This is so interesting because it really shows the difference between making light and reflecting it. The foil isn't creating any light on its own. It's basically acting like a mirror, just bouncing light from another source, like a lamp or the sun, back into our eyes. That's a huge, huge distinction.
All right, final round of our game. Let's look at something we all use probably every single day, a tablet. Think about it. If you use it in a pitch black room, the screen lights up your whole face, right? So is it a light source?
Yes, 100%. The screen on your tablet, your computer, your phone, they are all fantastic examples of modern light sources. They use electricity to power millions of tiny little lights that all work together to create the images we see.
So, we've pretty much nailed down what a light source is. But as you've probably noticed in your own life, not all light sources are created equal. Some are kind of dim, and others are just unbelievably bright.
And this shows that point perfectly. On one hand, you've got the gentle, flickering glow of a single candle. It's a light source for sure. But then you compare that to the blinding power of stadium lights. Both are making their own light, but their brightness, their intensity, is on a completely different planet because they're designed for totally different jobs.
We've spent a lot of time talking about light and where it comes from. But what about the opposite? What happens when there are no light sources around at all?
Imagine you're deep inside a cave, just like this one. You're miles away from the entrance, there's no sunlight. If you turn off your flashlight, there are zero light sources. What do you see? Absolutely nothing. You are in total, complete darkness.
So, here's the really cool takeaway from that. Darkness isn't actually a thing on its own. It's not some substance that fills up a room. It's simply the absence of light. When light's gone, darkness is what's left.
Okay, so now let's bring these two huge ideas, creating light and reflecting light, together. Because understanding them isn't just an interesting science lesson, it's actually essential for keeping people safe out in the real world. Let's take a look at this situation. We have someone working at night, probably near a road. This could be really dangerous if drivers can't see them. But they're using the science of light in a super smart way to stay safe and visible. Let's break down their gear.
First off, let's look at that headlamp. We just spent all this time talking about things that make light. So, what role do you think the headlamp is playing here?
Exactly. The headlamp is a perfect example of a personal, portable light source. It's creating its own beam of light, which lets the workers see exactly what they're doing when it's dark.
Okay, but now look at the jacket. When a car's headlights shine on it, it glows incredibly brightly. But based on our rules, does that make the jacket a light source?
And this is where our other big idea, reflection, becomes a total lifesaver.
The jacket is not a light source, but it's made with this special material that's amazing at taking light from other sources, like those car headlights, and bouncing it straight back to the driver. This makes the worker super easy to spot, keeping them safe.
So let's just quickly recap the big ideas we covered. First, a true light source makes its own light. Second, some shiny objects don't create light, they just reflect it. And finally, darkness isn't really a thing. It's just what happens when there's no light around.
And that brings us to the end. But now I've got a little challenge for you. Just pause for a moment and look around whatever room you're in right now. Using everything we just talked about, how many different light sources can you find? And remember, not just things that are bright, but things that are truly making their own light. You might actually be surprised by how many you spot.